Hello everybody, this is Big. Stand up for your beliefs? Win or lose? What? I just saw that. Stand up for your fucking beliefs? Don't go up the stairs, head over here. I just fucking saw that. Okay, we're playing, this is Big Benedict. We're playing Devil May Cry 3 on Dante Must Die difficulty, and we're standing for our beliefs, I guess, is what this game is having us do in this chapter. We'll have a boss fight at the end of it against Lady, and then we'll be ushered thenceforth into chapter 17, I think. So I'm not going to talk about these enemies because they're just absolutely horrible. I mean, all I'm going to say is equip the what is it? Equip this weapon, whatever it is, and do and try to do the jump cancel if you want to. But since I'm not comfortable doing it, I'm not going to do it. I'll just talk about other things during this process here of just trying to kill these guys as they go through the fucking walls here. But a lot of the times I don't really recognize what I've really done on YouTube. They kind of, it's the same old thing that I always do. I just post videos on my channel, and that's the end of it. I don't really see the other. I kind of take for granted the user experiences that are going on, unbeknownst to me, after the fact that I've uploaded videos. So the only reason I mention that is because sometimes I kind of minimize my efforts on YouTube, downplay them, and just because I don't have, I've been on YouTube a couple of years now, and yes, I only have like 2,500 subscribers or something like that. It still doesn't take away from the fact that I have engendered within a lot of people a lot of great experiences. Some people have hated the videos, and they've said that. Others have hated them and said nothing and just left. Personally, I feel that if you don't like something, you should just say it. I don't understand why people always say, say nothing. It's just too passive for me, and I'm a rather passive person, passive aggressive sometimes, in fact. But I mean, these people that say just leave, don't unsub. I always say, write down your issues. I'm a big writer. I used to be anyway, and I didn't really find too much enjoyment. I mean, it was pretty fun, but when it wasn't fueled by alcohol, it really wasn't too fun. So. But I used to write short stories and things like that, and some of them were pretty good. Some of them were just utter trash, but some of them were pretty good. But I picked up the new Stephen King novel last Tuesday, and it's looking to be pretty good. This guy, Stephen King, he's written a lot of good stuff, but the best stuff that he's written is when he was a young man, in the 70s and the 80s. Like, The Stand and It are the best books he's ever written. A lot of people will agree with that. The Dark Tower series, books 1 through 4, are magnificent. Books 5 through 7 are worthy of being put in the trash can and then never seen again because so much time went by, and I don't even know if it was him writing those books. It didn't seem like it. I've heard that he doesn't write his own books. My uncle told me that a long time ago, and I said, how is that possible? And then it kind of stuck with me. Maybe it's true somehow, but maybe not. I don't know. All I know is that the new book that I bought with a lot of trepidation and without any hope of it being good, because his new stuff there's too many colloquialisms, too much slang. I can barely read it. Like, you want to avoid colloquialisms in your writing because not everybody speaks that kind of backyard language. Like, he uses, when you do that in literary writing, you put that stuff in quotation marks to signify that, you're saying something that is not, it's slang. You put it in quotation marks, but Anyway, I mean, it's the kind of stuff that I always find so many literal errors, like errors in his novels, you know, like punctuation errors and stuff. That's the kind of stuff that I have to deal with. You know, you buy a new book, there should not be any errors in it, grammatical errors. I mean, some people don't understand either that just because a word is misused, they think it's misspelled, and that always really irritates me like nothing else. Because it's not misspelled, it might be misused, but it's still spelled correctly. And these people are usually the ones that are chastising other people about rules of grammar. But anyway, this book that I picked up, it looks to be pretty good because I'm one of those people that I really don't like any type of supernatural elements in his book. You know, and that really flies in the face. There's some slang right there, but I'll just put it in verbal quotation marks. It flies in the face, end quote, to of what his is like It and The Stand. Those books were very, you know, it was not about realism too much, and a lot of just supernatural stuff is what I meant to say. But these days, anything like that, any kind of supernatural things that he does in his books, it seems like it's just pandering. So, we're going to be coming in here, hitting this damage wheel, and fighting some rooks, and a knight, I believe. But I'm sorry I went on those topics. I just wanted to mention that it's shaping up to be a very good book. But I'm very skeptical of whether it actually will be good. So, what can you expect from this channel? Maybe I might look into Bayonetta on Infinite Climax mode. It doesn't look like it would be impossible. In fact, I've attempted to do it a couple of times. And the only reason I stopped is because I don't know, it's just kind of, that game doesn't look that good sometimes. The same way Ninja Gaiden 2 doesn't look very good. Like, these games look remarkable for their time, so does God of War. But that's not the reason that was stopping me. It was primarily because I was having so many experiences that were the same, and I'm just tired of the same experiences. I want something new. But finding something new and good is very difficult because I have very high expectations of quality. So as for Bayonetta 2, there's no way I'm going to cover that because Nintendo doesn't really understand how YouTube works, and they not even with their recent changes of heart. So I'm not covering that game, and I'm not rebuying a Wii U. I had a Wii U, but I sold it because it's shit. I shouldn't say that. I don't know what it is. Okay, so we're just dealing with these rooks here, and I'm sorry I said that. I don't really know what it is. I was thinking, I think the gamepad's really weird. It's not a standard controller. Even the Pro controller, it's got a really weird control scheme layout. The analog sticks are really weird positions. So when I was playing Razor's Edge, I had to accustom myself to that controller, and I was really having a lot of fun when I was playing Razor's Edge. But in hindsight, it's just a horrible game. It's so trashy of a game, and that's coming from a Ninja Gaiden snob. So you have to realize the context there. It's not coming from somebody who's only played that game in the series. And I also realize that there's a new game coming, or it's already came out. But as far as I understand it, it's just it's just even more trash for the trash can. And in video 7, I was talking about the Seraphim 17 and his playlists. His guide would actually benefit you more to watch than my guide. It just comes down to the personality, I guess you'd say. Whose guide you want to watch. It's not a contest or anything like that. And hell, it gives you even more options. But he put out a video today of projects that you might want to cover, and a lot of people cast their lot about what they want to cover. And somebody responded on his video, and they were saying, can you do the Divine Comedy? Not the Divine Comedy. Can you do Dante's Inferno? And he said, no real need to. Big Benedict's already covered it, and if you watch it, it's a good watch or something like that. And I inferred from his comment that, maybe just because I covered it, that's like the finality of the game. It really isn't. I'm not the authority on anything, really. I just really enjoyed that game, so I did a guide for it. Really long project, but I really enjoyed making it. So just to let everybody know, especially him, cover whatever you want to. I mean, even though I've covered Ninja Gaiden 2 extensively, it doesn't mean I'm the authority on it. You could take your own spin on it. Nobody can be as good as Rhyme. That's the bottom line, I guess. But anyways, this lady, we're coming up on Lady pretty soon. And it kind of made me feel bad, what he said, but I'm sure he was just, being nice to the person who was asking for it. But anyway, here she is. She's a runner. So after this, there's going to be a big sex scene for beating her. Just kidding. But she is pretty fucking annoying. The way I figured out how to beat her is to, because I was getting hit by too much shrapnel trying to get her. So what I did was, I equipped this weapon here, and then I'm going to do the Killer Bee to fly over the bullets that she shoots at me. But what's going on here is that, excuse me, if she doesn't see you, she will assume that she has time enough to set up her rocket launcher and do the attack that you might be familiar with if you have this weapon. But I didn't know it at the time until I had watched the Seraphim 17's video, because unless I'm tearing my hair out, I don't watch other people's videos first. I watch it afterwards because I don't want to be influenced by what they're doing. So I didn't realize that this is kind of a hiding game from her, in a sense that you want to get her in a position like this. You really have to kind of hide around the corners, these stacks here of books, and the more of them you smash, the fewer hiding spaces you'll have here. So what you need to do is avoid smashing them. Unfortunately, it'll save your progress of smashing them. So yes, I had to use an item over here, so I'm sorry about that. But if you just keep the camera off her and kind of sneak up to her and wait till she's loading up her grenade launcher to shoot you. So I'm really aggressive here, but it still works. I mean, you can still do the Killer Bee and then go into your combos. And the while, build up your Devil Trigger and release it when you're next to her. No pun intended. I think this fight is so comical, and when I first saw it, like I was mentioning in the previous video, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I have to fight her? Like, it's I don't know, it's like fighting Kratos' wife in God of War. It's like you don't ever do that, obviously, but it just seems so silly. It seems like kind of a desperate attempt, like desperation at trying to come up with a boss. It could have just ended, we don't have to do this fight. But I will say, it's a fun fight, even though the camera is hard to deal with here. It really is. But if you're having problems, just use the center camera feature and that will help you. I personally have the x-axis inverted. It helps me out. If you're struggling, you might want to fix it. You can fix it that way. Sometimes the sometimes the lock-on just turns off. Actually, I was watching one of his videos, and in his introduction to his guide, the Seraphim 17, he saw that the lock-on was off, and it's happened to me a lot. It's a glitch. It's not that you actually intentionally take it off on accident, because I didn't, and it just turns off. It's just really weird. So that's the end of the video. I'll see you in video 17. Thank you very much for watching.